Hi everybody, Nick Bottini here. So a question I often get asked is how can I prepare psychologically for a big performance? Whether you're a student preparing for a final recital, a musician in the public eye preparing for a major festival gig or a live TV broadcast, or whether you're somebody who's preparing for a music exam. There are these opportunities or these occasions where it really matters to us how we perform, and we want to perform at our best and we want to feel good about it. So what I thought I would do in this video, I'll kind of give you the short answer to this, because obviously this is something that I work with people on, and sometimes maybe watching a 10-minute video can be of great value and can change how they do things. But other times it's more of a gradual learning process. So, wherever you are on that scale, hopefully this is helpful. So it seems to me that there are two components to delivering a concert to the standard that you want to deliver it, but also having a good relationship sort of psychologically with that whole process, right? So, and this isn't rocket science. So, we all know that if we're expected to play a certain piece of music in a certain time, a certain way, then we need to be prepared. We need to know the music. We need to have an idea of what that performance is going to entail. So if it's an exam, it means learning the pieces. If it's a live TV broadcast, it means making sure you know the logistics of when you're going to be playing, when you're not going to be playing, and what exactly is expected. That's all kind of very obvious, and so we don't want to be in the situation where the camera's rolling, it's our cue to perform, and for whatever reason we haven't done the job that we are there to do. And there's a degree of preparation involved, so everybody watching this video is well aware of that. The flip side of the coin to that is we may well know that that's what we should be doing, but for one reason or another, we might not find ourselves either preparing in the right kind of way, or in the moment we might not feel like we are able to deliver. Okay, so we have a kind of concept on the one hand of what needs to be done, what needs to be learned, and on the other hand is like kind of our psychological relationship or how we feel about that in our being. And that second piece is the bit that I'm going to sort of spend more time on, because there's no end of resources sort of pointing people to how you could divide your practice time up, or what you should do, or the exercises that you can follow, or how you can go about memorizing music. But something that generally I think hasn't been necessarily talked about that much has been the performer's relationships with how it actually feels to deliver a performance, and also the act of sort of preparing for one of those high pressure situations. So it seems to me that if somebody's asking the question, how can I prepare psychologically, then even that as a starting point it is a little bit tricky, because it kind of presupposes that there is something necessary that needs to be done to get yourself in a certain state of mind. And we get this idea that it's best if we feel confident, or it's best if we feel kind of worthy to be on that stage, or it's best if we feel not too flustered. And somehow if we didn't feel confident, or we didn't feel happy about our playing, then that would definitely negatively impact our performance. And the kinds of conversations that I have with performers, often, I spend most of the time actually exploring with the performers sort of what is the basis for that assumption. So in this, I know this is a very kind of short introduction to this, but the way it looks to me is that this is all about not feeling a certain way, but about your relationship with the feelings that come up. Because the truth of the matter is that even within, say, an hour-long practice session, or an hour-long rehearsal, there will be all kinds of fluctuations, moments where we feel more secure or less secure, moments where we'll be thinking more about ourselves, or moments when we won't be thinking quite so much at all. And yet, when we're in a performance, it can be very easy for somebody to think, actually, how am I feeling? How am I thinking? What's going on? And we get very, very fixated on the state of mind that we're in, when in fact, most of the time, we're not fixated on how we're feeling. And so, as we sort of loosen the grip on trying to feel a certain way, trying to guarantee a certain feeling, ironically, we feel better quite often. And when if we're not grasping on to try and engineer a certain feeling, or try and guarantee we feel a certain way, we don't mind so much whether we're feeling good or we're feeling bad. Okay, so assuming that all the musical preparation is pretty much looked after, and in a practice room you can do it, you can come up with the goods that you need to. The thing that makes the difference between a performer who feels okay with performing on stage and somebody that feels very anxious about it and is ruminating a lot is how much they're trying to control their experience in the moment. If you realise that there's no need to micromanage your feelings, micromanage your thoughts, then the chances are you're going to have an easier time of it. Okay, and let's face it, there are plenty of high-level performances going on that, for which people are feeling nervous, feeling anxious, and it doesn't get in the way of them performing well. There are countless examples of top professionals feeling nervous and performing whilst feeling nervous, and it's not too much of a big deal, because maybe they think about it in a maybe positive way, maybe they don't, but it's there and they continue doing it anyway. But it's only when we kind of get really disturbed by the fact that we're having a particular kind of feeling that it then makes sense for us to try and change that, and there's really no need. So in answer to the question, how do you prepare psychologically for a big performance, the only preparation needed is to really understand how thoughts and feelings work. And in the moment, you show up, you do your thing. It's literally that simple. Now, if someone's experiencing acute anxiety and acute difficulties, then that's a different conversation. But my message really is essentially there is no preparation that is a prerequisite. You can go in, if you've done the work and you're ready to play, you go there, you show up, you have the experience that you have, and that's it. So there you have it. There's less work to do psychologically than you thought there is. So let me know in the comments below what you made of that. Be sure to like and share this video. Thank you very much.